are, people following them around. It's just going to bring in a bunch of, teenagers around in the neighborhood, and we really don't need that.
It's bringing a lot of traffic, isn't it?
I'll say blogs, protests, and much more popping up all over the region, telling the real worlders to get out of town. And one such blog is brightestyoungthing.com, and Libby Ellsworth-Kash is the writer behind the blog, one of the writers anyway, and she has more on what folks around DuPont Circle are having to say about our new D.C. residents. Kind of a mixed opinion, right?
Right. Well, some people really love the fact that the real world is here, and other people are completely against it. Usually DuPont residents are the ones that are completely against it.
Well, there's got to be a lot of activity associated with these people.
Well, there are big bright lights on all the time.
So it's disruptive.
So all through the night?
All through the night, the house is lit up. There are kind of stalker paparazzi, aspiring paparazzos that stand outside of the house and take photos.
So what do people think? They're going to make some money off this?
I think that they just want to be part of it. I think that they're trying to either... well, I think everyone just wants to be part of it, whether it's
real world wannabes.
Right. Well, some people are documenting the experience to kind of control it in a way, because if you're
a part of it.
Right. If you're a part of it, then
you maybe have a prospective job down the road.
Right. Yeah. Or you can use it as a vehicle for your own personal blog, or for your.
In your case.
Yeah.
So that's your motivation for being on this show.
Yeah, so absolutely. I'm such an opportunist.
But your personal stance on this, you hate them, right?
Right. I'm against it. I just don't like what the franchise has become. And over the years, it started off as a social experiment, and has become more of a forum for general debauchery. And to now come into D.C. and to say that you're going to be part of this time of change when your last season is the real world Cancun, I just don't know how sincere you can be.
Right. Because there's obviously going to be drinking and clubbing and who knows what else in these bedrooms that are going on. So it seems pretty much the same. Is that what you're getting at?
Right, absolutely.
But aren't the characters in this movie, or the real life characters, so to speak, put together to be antagonistic towards one another? I mean, like in the olden days, the Romans, the Romans would, in the Colosseum, they would take a lion and like a bear and put them in there and say, okay, let's see what happens.
It's the same kind of thing. I mean, you always see the gay guy. You always see the girl that's very church-like. Oh my gosh, her parents are going to freak out when they see her on TV. The person that has a girlfriend but is with other people on the show. That kind of thing.
So when you're trying to change it up, and now you're finally coming to D.C. and you're setting these people up in an activist situation, you hope that they're not going to follow these same traditional roles, because what's come out of the show has not been something that's positive.
Well, a lot of times they have an assigned job, right? Or at least in the later years of this reality show, they have some kind of job. Are they going to be working?
I think they're allowed to find their own jobs right now.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see where they end up. If they end up campaigning, helping out with the campaign, if they end up volunteering at local schools, a summer program, I don't know. We'll see.
So have you talked to neighbors down there?
Yes, well, actually, I am a DuPont resident.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, and not a lot of people are happy. Someone started a blog called the Anti-Real World DC, which he lives across the street from the house, and so he watches all their comings and goings, and is generally annoyed by the lack of outreach that the MTV production company has put out towards getting together with the residents of DuPont to explain what's going to be happening, what the rules and regulations on the cast are.
Now, it's only temporary. I mean, they're only filming until September, right?
I believe so.
So some people would say, deal with it. What do you say to that?
Well, I say deal with it, and let's have a good time when the show finally comes out. You'll see certain landmarks that you identify with, but it won't be representative of your experience, of my experience in D.C., of a general experience. Let's let them have fun with it. But
I have to say that house that they're in is just spectacular.
Yeah,
it's a great house.
It's not real. If you move to D.C. and you're at that age, you need to be in a basement apartment. You need to have, maybe a stove down there and, singing for your supper, basically.
Absolutely. Working at a nonprofit for no money.
Exactly.
Right. Which they probably, I don't know, it'll be interesting. They've got a great hot tub, but unfortunately it's covered over, so it'll be harder for some of the people on the streets to get good shots of them in bikinis. And
how about just the logistical things of living in that neighborhood? Do you find parking places are
far and few between?
Yeah.
They've got these big vans outside, so it's even harder for people. And also, I feel like some of the businesses around the house, kitty corner of the house, are having problems with people just sitting and watching, loitering.
You say you're against this, but are you going to watch?
Oh, absolutely. That's why you have to have fun with it. I mean, you don't want to be a grumpy old man about it.
It's hard not to say if you want to see your city, you want to see how they interpret it and what people do. So Doug, will you watch?
You know, I've flipped channels and I've stopped for about 5 seconds, and that's the most I've ever watched.
5 seconds?
Real world.
I think you're lying.
Okay.
I think
no,
so too.
That's about
I think
it.
so too.
I'm being cross my heart and hope to die.
It's on his TiVo. It's on his TiVo, right? Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next year on the show, thousands of people are gathering in LA right now at the Staples Center to say goodbye to the king of pop, Michael Jackson. We're going to take you there in a little bit.
Also coming up, we'll tell you what you need to know before turning up your favorite songs. Things that could really hurt your hearing if you're not careful.
And email tough love to our email address, letstalklive@news8.net. You could win a pair of free tickets to VH1's Crash Course in Love seminar. We'll be right back.